Okay, match 2 with Temur Tron. On the play, we have one Tron piece, 2 maps, a little bit of early interaction. This is good enough. I will keep. This time I'm going to play map before star, because I do plan to crack it on turn 2, even if I don't draw a Tron piece. Tranquil Cove, okay. Koldath the Jeskai, maybe white-blue tokens. Pass the turn. Could also be Acid Trip. Quicksand. Lone Missionary, okay. That doesn't really narrow it down, probably not tokens. Go get a tower. Here's a tower. Here's a map. Turn 4 Tron, here we come. See what our opponent can do about that. Cycle away a Lonely Sandbar. Probably not Koldath the Jeskai. Mana base is wrong for it. Chancery, okay. This Quicksand is not going to be big enough to kill our Crusher, as you might know if you've read Quicksand before. Target attacking creature without flying gets -1, -2. Crusher's a little bit bigger than that. They return the Cove. We're going to make Tron by picking up a mine. We're going to have 8 mana, so we could lead with Muldrifter, or we could just Crusher as soon as possible. If our opponent has Oblivion Ring or Journey to Nowhere, then it doesn't really matter. We don't want to give them more time to do it, though. Yeah, let's just run this out there, see what happens. If they somehow have a way to kill it instead of exile it or pacify it, then Haunted Fengraf can get it back. Crystallization. Okay, it's like a pacifism. Can attack or block when it becomes the target of a spell or ability, exile the creature. Lone Missionary. I feel like maybe I should know what this deck is, but unfortunately I do not. So do I want to use this instead of my star? No, I probably want to use my star, so I'll play this, crack it for blue, play a Muldrifter. Fangren, okay. Well, Fangren's a big person. I think I'll just cast that instead. There's the Fangren. Pass the turn. Little stuck on colored mana right now. We only have 1 a turn with this Unknown Shores. Hopefully we can find some more, so we can Muldrifter plus Muldrifter or Muldrifter plus Firebolt. They have another Crystallization. The good news for us is that we can still gain life off this Fangren as long as it's on the battlefield. I doubt this is an aggressive deck, though, so the gain life might not be that relevant. Okay, there's a Sphere. Start with that, gain life with the Fangren. Cycle to blue for a Drifter. Yes. Alright, we can't quite play a Crusher this turn, but we can play another Muldrifter since we drew a tower. Pass the turn. We have a full hand. Our opponent has a full hand. See no reason to trade, or see no reason not to trade these off, sorry. If we win with Crusher, then we aren't going to need them. If we don't win with Crusher, then we're not going to need them. Just preserve our life total, in case our opponent is somewhat aggressive. They have a Muldrifter of their own, okay. Return the Quicksand to their hand. Alright, let's start off with a Seagate Oracle, Haunted Fengraf, or Unknown Shores. We have enough stars in hand that we probably aren't going to need the color mana. But I also am probably not going to need another Haunted Fengraf either, since our opponent's not likely to kill our creatures. But it does give us another Muldrifter, so I'll take it. Play our Crusher, one of our stars with the leftover mana, and see if they have Crystallization number 3 to deal with Ulamog's Crusher number 2. They play Radiant Fountain instead of their Quicksand, so we know they have a Quicksand in hand. There's a journey. Another Mole Drifter. Well, I would say Rolling Thunders are way out of this game. The problem is our opponent gained life, and they're all the way up to 32 now. So we can't do it with a single Rolling Thunder, at least not yet. Okay, let's start off with a Seagate Oracle, probably, depending on what we draw from this star. A Stirrings. Yeah, let's start with Seagate Oracle, see what we can draw. A Mine or a Prism. I need the mana, but I think I have the time to be able to play the Prism, so I will. Cast a Prism, a Sphere. Alright, I'd like to be able to crack this Haunted Fengraf, so I think I'll start off with Firebolt. That leaves me with 4 mana, so I'll play Fengraf, Prismatic Lens, another star, and I'll save the mana from it, and another star. Let's just play all these stars out. Stars and spheres and whatnot. I can save them for the next time I get a Fangren Marauder. I don't really need to draw cards right now, since I can't do anything with our leftover mana anyway, when I'm planning to use a tower to crack a Fengraf. Get back a Mole Drifter. Opponent has a Preordain. Puts top and top, so we should be very afraid. Another Preordain. Bottom top. Replays Quicksand. Hits us for 2. Double check. Yep, we have Mole Drifters, so let's go get one. There we are. Play Mole Drifter number 1. Looking for our Rolling Thunders. Okay, there's one Rolling Thunder. Let's play another Mole Drifter, I guess. Gain life again. Yes, okay. Now at this point, I'm going to play Fangren Marauder first. Gain even more life, just in case that's somehow relevant. And just start cycling through these. Always yes, always yield. Yes, yield. Also do this. Stirrings. Hopefully find another Tron land for this Rolling Thunder. Sweet, there's a tower. Then I get to play this. And this. And this. And I might as well crack this star while everything's on the battlefield. Alright, waste that mana. Bash for 2. Alright, and we have 9 plus 6 is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 mana plus 2 filters. So we have 17. We can Rolling Thunder for 17 next turn. Alright, there's Reality Acid. So this must be some variation on Acid Trip that also uses crystallizations. I've seen crystallization used in these decks before, but it's not very popular when I see it. Luckily for us, we're applying enough pressure that they feel the need to go after the Fangren instead of one of our lands. If they went after the mine, then we would not have Tron next turn, most likely. Another Fangren, but I'm just going to Rolling Thunder. Although I suppose I could wait. The upside to waiting is I'll probably draw more Tron lands eventually. And this Mole Drifter is going to be fine. I don't really want them to be able to momentary blink this Mole Drifter to draw 2 cards and dodge the Rolling Thunder. So yeah, I can wait till they're tapped out, potentially. Let's play these Fangrins first. That probably makes more sense. First Muldrifter. Alright. Now a map. Next a Fangren. I'm going to go all the way up to 63 life here in a second. And I'm not even going to Firebolt here. Like I said, I don't want to get blown out by a momentary blink. So I'm just going to crack a Fengraph and crack this map. Another Reality Acid on a Fangren. Core Skyfisher. Picking up a Reality Acid, so just like last turn. That goes away. Alright. Start by cracking this map. I suppose I should have done this in response so I could gain another 5 life, but luckily I don't think that's going to be too important. I could crack a Haunted Fengraph now, or I could save the mana for Rolling Thunder. I guess I'll save the mana for Rolling Thunder. It could be important for some reason. And hopefully this deck does not play main deck Negate or Counterspell. Because if it does, I probably am not going to be able to end the game until I have a lot more mana and another Rolling Thunder. So 2, 3, 3, at least 12 left over. And if this resolves, obviously we're going to be in a huge favorite to win. And if they just counter it, then we're going to be quite sad. Original version of Reality Acid does not play any counter magic though, so. Okay, momentary blink, draw 2 cards. And it resolves, okay. So they got to keep a Muldrifter and draw another 2 cards off of it, but now the next Rolling Thunder is almost certainly going to win us the game. Unless they draw counter magic before then. Seagate Oracle. Kabira Crossroads gains them some life. Another Lone Missionary gains them even more life. So let's see, what would we get back from a Haunted Fengraph right now? 2 Fangrins and 1 Muldrifter, so most likely a Fangren. We can also flash back this Firebolt when we want to. Ancient Stirrings. So we'll most likely be able to find our other Ulamog's Crusher. Oh no, actually it's stuck under here, isn't it? We've already used them both up. So these are just going to help us find Cyclers, which will help us gain life, which will help us find the other Rolling Thunder. That's good enough though, so let's start off with that. If you're very good with this deck, you can pay attention to what cards you put on the bottom with Ancient Stirrings. Like right now we know that there's a Rolling Thunder on the bottom along with 2 Chainer's Edicts. So we'd like to shuffle our deck with a map if possible, or find some way to dig deeper so we can get back around to that card, because I really want that other Rolling Thunder. Do that now with the Stirrings, dig some more cards deep. I guess I should have paid attention to the order I put those on the bottom in as well, shouldn't I? I'm not sure if I put Rolling Thunder back first or not. So yeah, that was obviously a mistake. Firebolt this Muldrifter out of the air, or at least try to. I guess I'm playing right into Momentary Blink, but they had to use that up at some point, so I guess that point will be now. Alright. They draw another 2 cards. We'll crack our Fengraph. Get back a Marauder. Attack for 2 in the air. There's no reason to attack with these because they can double block them profitably, like Muldrifter plus Seagate Oracle, and then we can't do anything about it. It'd be slightly more aggressive, but I don't think it really matters. Play a Fangren. And despite our misplay of putting things back on bottom with Ancient Strength without paying attention to the order, we will draw Rolling Thunder eventually. And I don't think our opponent can beat us before then. Reality Acid. Yet another bounce creature. So they're going to have to gain some serious life to be able to get out of Rolling Thunder range. Or I suppose be playing main deck counterspells and find one. Muldrifter. We have 16 whole cards left in our deck. The bottom 5 definitely are Rolling Thunder. Another Fangren. Alright, we'll start with Fengraf. Muldrifter. Gonna keep on digging till we find it. Seagate Oracle. Sphere. At this point we can play the Marauder. Play the Sphere. Crack the Sphere. I'm not really sure what we have exactly coming up next. Ancient Stirrings. Alright, I'm not going to cast this Ancient Stirrings because I'm getting dangerously close to the Chainer's Edicts that I want, and also the Rolling Thunder that I want, and I don't want to put them back on bottom again. Also made a mistake by not playing Fengraf there, because then I would have 3 mana to be able to activate it and get another creature. If I even have anything in the yard, yeah, I have another Fangren and another Muldrifter. Misplays all over the place. Let's hope it does not punish us. Let's hope our Rolling Thunder resolves and nothing else matters. Reality Acid yet again. Bounce creature yet again. Goodbye, Fangren, you served us well. Reality Acid on Muldrifter. And another creature. So now at this point, even if I draw both the Chainer's Edicts, a single 1/5 will be able to make us only deal 2 damage a turn with Seagate Oracles. And at this point, only 1 damage a turn, since our opponent will have a 1/5 and a 1/3 after 2 Chainer's Edicts with flashback. So we're most likely either going to mill ourselves out or win with Rolling Thunder. And whether or not we win with Rolling Thunder depends on whether or not our opponent counters it. I do not want to shuffle with this map. I can at least play it out. Let's go ahead and crack another Fengraf. This might actually be our last one. And this should yield us the Rolling Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, beautiful. So I can only do it with x equals to 12 right now, which I could, just while my opponent's tapped out, go 3, 1, 3, and then sum them out to the face, and plan on winning when I get my Chainer's Edicts, just remove all their stuff, and attack for lethal. The problem with that is I will mill myself out before I have enough time, especially if our opponent finds a way to gain life. So I think I'm going to let them untap, just so I can untap as well. And I'm going to count on this Rolling Thunder getting there. And pass. They get to preordain. They go top, bottom. So if they know our deck, they know we play 2 Rolling Thunders, almost assuredly. So the only reason they should top is if they found a counterspell, or maybe life gain in the Face Fetters they just cast. We can definitely do 22 with this Rolling Thunder, though. Muldrifter, okay. Alright, our opponent is tapped out of counter magic. Crack this map just for fun. Alright. So we play our Tron piece. We get to tap all our mana and hopefully win, unless our opponent can do something very tricky. They gain a lot of life, but 2 Rolling Thunders will get there. Deal 25 to you. And it resolves. Wonderful. We get to sideboard. So we definitely want Ray of Revelation against the Journey, Crystallization, and the Reality Acid. Relic is a potential against Momentary Blink, but I don't think it's important enough. They have quite a lot of 1/3s and 1/5s, so I think I want to take out the Firebolts. Although the Firebolt can target the face, so I might want to get rid of Chainer's Edict. I think Chainer's Edict is going to be more important. And we'll submit this. Alright, 1 Tron piece, 1 map, and we have Mole Drifters. We also have no colored mana unless we use this map to go find a Unknown Shores. Normally I would probably mulligan this, but our opponent mulliganed as well, so maybe we can afford to keep a slower hand. Our opponent goes to 6, puts a card on bottom. We're going to play map with the hope of just blind drawing a tower or a mine. Opponent misses their second land drop. Obviously that's very good for us. We'll play this. We're going to save it though, so we can evoke a Mole Drifter next turn, most likely. Lone Missionary. Alright, so here we go. Play a Fengraph, since we probably aren't going to need 3 Tron lands. At least not right now. I should probably do this one at a time, just in case I want to not evoke a Mole Drifter and instead crack a map. No, I'm going to evoke a Mole Drifter. Against an opponent who is low on lands, I just want to play this Crusher as fast as possible. Alright, they drew 2 lands in a row. Spreading Seas are Haunted Fengraph, I guess since we already have multiple power plants. And they expect us to want to get back the Mole Drifter that we evoked, potentially. Alright, so we could evoke another Mole Drifter, but I don't want to. I want to play a Star, crack it, and Ancient Sturians. Find another Tron piece. Perfect, there's a mine. Now I get to play it and crack this for a tower. So unless they have another Spreading Seas, then we're going to have Tron next turn. Or if they pick up this Spreading Seas and replay it. That requires a creature to pick it up and another untapped land. Take another 2. Alright, they pick up a Plains. And Tron is not messed with. So we can go get a tower. Alright, we have multiple Crushers in hand. I'm just going to play a Crusher. The only colored mana we have is blue, so the only other options we have are Seagate Oracle or Mole Drifter, and this is just clearly better. Unless we know for a fact our opponent has removal, but even then we have to start running these out there and eating up that removal. Journey to Nowhere. So once we find our Disenchant, we can blow this up on their end step, most likely, which will be very good for us. Alright, let's start off with Seagate Oracle, since we can do that and still Crusher. Expedition Map or Star. I like the colored mana, so I can try to Stirrings or I can Rolling Thunder, but I also really like Map if they mess up one of our lands with a Reality Acid or a Spreading Seas. We already have multiple towers and power plants though, so we're only missing on mine. I think it's still correct to take Map. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and run this map out there. They can Reality Acid it away if they want. Or I suppose they can use Core Sanctifiers on it. If they spend their turn doing that instead of messing with our Urza's Mine, that's basically accomplishes the same thing, so it's okay. Another Journey. I really want to draw our sideboard card so we can go blow up the Journey, untap, blow up the Journey. Or blow up the Journey, blow up the other Journey with Flashback on their end step. Alright, so I want to play Mole Drifter here. Let's attack first. Well, we're not really the aggressor right now with the life totals as they currently sit. We drew a multiple mine, which is good for us. Okay, there's a Ray of Revelation. So the next thing I'm going to do is go find a filtered land, unknown shores, and now I get to Ray of Revelation on their end step. And hopefully that will be enough to put the game away. I can attack here since I have a blocker for the lone missionary with this mole drifter. Alright, they're going to mole drifter here, that's fine with me. Might as well block. That's one less thing they can sacrifice to the Ulamog's Crusher. Alright, and here's your Ray of Revelation. Did you bring in counter magic? If they have a negate, they need to negate this right now. Alright, they brought in a counter spell. The good news is for us that we can do that again on their next turn. So they need to find another counter spell to be able to do that again. Start off with a prism. And then we get to lay out the threat of Fangren Marauder. Can also play a Seagate Oracle. Doing this in somewhat the wrong order, unfortunately. But that's okay. So now they have to deal with the Fangren, or they're going to get attacked by the Fangren, and they also have to deal with the fact that we're going to try to blow up a journey on their end step. Reality Acid targeting Fangren Marauder, okay. Skyfisher. So they're able to deal with the Fangren. Do they have another negate or counterspell? Or even dispel? We're going to find out. Take another 2. Alright, no whammies. Another counterspell. Alright, well, good for them, I guess. So right now we could Rolling Thunder for X equals to 15. Blow up both their creatures so they can't momentary blink them later. And hit them for 12, and then attack them for 2. I think that's good enough. I can try to resolve the other spells on future turns. But if our opponent does have even more negates that they boarded in, I really don't want this Rolling Thunder to not work. This also makes Momentary Blink a lot worse in their hand, so I think I'm going to go for it while they're tapped out. I would love to spend some time digging for another Ray of Revelation, but... Alright, there's 10. I might have miscounted. I think I said I was going to hit them for 12, and I only hit them for 10, but still worth it, I think. We have multiples of our Tron land, so if our opponent has a Reality Acid and a bounce creature, they don't really have an obvious target right now. And if our opponent does nothing, then this clock of 2 a turn is not 0, so try that as well. Alright, let's start with Mole Drifter. And what next? Let's gain some more life, just in case. We'll go Sphere, Sphere, Marauder, and we can actually save that mana for next turn and just plan on cracking the Fangraph this turn. We have a Fangren, a Mole Drifter, and a Mole Drifter in our yard. Reality Acid, okay. So this time I am going to crack these in response because I really want to gain 10 life. Actually, can I do this without having to... Yeah, I can. I can do this and still be able to Fangraph. The next question is whether I want to get a Mole Drifter out of my yard or whether I want to get a Fangren. If I want to get a Mole Drifter, I should crack this now. If I want to get a Fangren, I should wait till after it goes to the yard. I think I want Mole Drifter a little bit more, so I guess I can do that now. And I got a Fangren anyway. Alright, we go up to 22. Our opponent has only 1 card in hand, although they're about to have 2 because they get the Reality Acid back. We have a Chainer, so we get to keep attacking. Alright, Let's start with Seagate Oracle. See if I can draw a Rolling Thunder or a Ray of Revelation. Perfect. So this is pretty much game over. I'm going to have board presence, and I'm also going to have double Ray of Revelation on their end step. Alright. And that should be GG, unless they have something very impressive. Alright. Have a nice little revelation here. Alright, and we win the match. So that's certainly an interesting version of Acid Trip. And luckily they weren't able to go after our mana. We were able to present a threat early enough that they had to attack our creatures with Reality Acid instead of our Tron lands. Because if we are too slow, they can't attack our lands and then prevent us from enabling Tron until it's too late. Alright, 2-0, on to match 3.